Okay, very good morning to you and welcome to Good Morning Anambra Tuesday edition. Today is the 8th day of the month of November. It's rolling. Very soon we'll start saying Merry Christmas. Okay, so how are you? How was your night? Sure you had a very good rest. Thank you. We are here today to look at some of the programs we have packaged for your viewing pleasure. And the first one in our table today is the press review. If you stand by, we'll bring it to you. Okay, welcome again. Joining me this morning to look at what the papers are saying. And Mr. Chuks Nweke. Mr. Chuks Nweke is a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Chuks.
Good morning, and good morning, listeners, viewers.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then I also have Oster Eze, who is also a public affairs analyst. Oster, you're welcome.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, Anambra.
Okay. From our website this morning, www.absradiotv.com. The first story making the round there said, Anambra State government declares 30 housing estates in capital territory illegal. And then Soludo receives Grand Patron Award from Association of Anambra State Development Union, Lagos. Finally from here, Anambra Commissioner Onyenji extols Bishop Ezokafo for organizing Youth Summit Empowerment Program at Amobia. Oh, yes. So these are the stories. There are so many other stories from our website, but these are the ones we're going to look at this morning. Yeah, 30 housing estates. Like I was discussing behind the scene, where do we have these estates and where are the houses? Because I've been looking for one to dwell in. I couldn't find one. So where are these housing estates? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you find them all over the place, but actually, what you see in most places are very big gates showcasing something looks like an estate. Then one or two uncompleted buildings, scattered, within the so-called estate.
Premises,
yes. But, I think for me, the only estate I know, if you look at alcohol estate, yes, you see people living there, Gozik estate, and
Udoka
housing, like all those, of course, those ones were built by government. But you see, government gave out to some of these developers, powers to, that was then. Because for me, I also know how a lot of our Oka lands here were harnessed, and before you knew it, they called it one estate. If it is not Hillview Estate, it is one big fine name.
A whole lot of them.
To attract people to come and buy, live, and...
Okay. Oster is if they were given to by the government, I mean, they were given licenses to float these housing estates. Why is it now illegal?
Well, this is the question a lot of people are also asking since that news broke. And I believe there's a mix-up in communication between the owners of some of these estates mentioned and the government. So there's a need for them. I believe the reason they were announced the way they were announced for them to go and do the needful, go and sort things out with the government ministry in charge so that their legitimacy can be maybe reinstated if possible. Because I know a lot of people must have invested in some of these estates, and with this news, some of them must be very concerned with the safety of their investment. So there's a need for owners of this real estate that has been mentioned to quickly visit the Ministry of Lands and sort things out with them before things get out of hand.
Okay, and subsequently, you go through the normal channel to get your lands or your estates, you understand, so that tomorrow it won't be declared illegal. If you had gone through the normal process, nobody's going to declare it illegal. Stop all this cutting corners here and there, which of course, okay, Soludo receives Grant Patron Award from Association of Anambra State Development Union, Lagos. That's a very commendable one. And then Anambra Commissioner Onyenji Bishop Okafor for organizing Youth Summit Empowerment Program at Amobia. Okay, which one would you like to look at, Chooks? Which of these two topics?
Let me look at the first one. Soludo receives Grand Patron Award from Association of Anambra State Development Union, Lagos. Well, our award is, it's good, but I know that you are given an award for what you have done. If you have done a lot of things. Our able governor just came in, you know, he just came in. And for me, I wouldn't like people to keep distracting him with all these things, you know.
Okay, you see that as a distraction.
Yes, it is a big distraction. Before you know it, this, all manner of people will be writing in. I say, well, this is Grand Patron, making him a Grand Patron of the association, but of course they said award here. Award in recognition of maybe his services. He just came, and we should allow him to fire on all cylinders. At the end of it all, yes, awards will come.
Definitely.
And then we'll see what he has done.
Definitely, thank you.
Yes.
Youth empowerment, Oster, and Bishop Okafor has been in news recently. We heard what he did for the victims of the flood, menace, and a whole lot of things. And now Don Onyenji is commending him for this youth summit that he organized.
Yeah, you know, Bishop Okafor has always made himself available to the persons disadvantaged in society since he assumed that position as the Bishop of Awka Diocese, Awka Catholic Diocese. So it's quite commendable that within this period that we've been having a lot of disillusionment among the youth, a lot of economic crunches, underemployment, unemployment, and all whatnot. It's quite commendable that he found the need to pull resources together and organize that youth empowerment program that he held and some other intervention programs he's been holding. This is what we expect other church leaders to do instead of accumulating a lot of maybe private jets and the latest cars for themselves. You have the people that make up the major mass of your congregation. Many of them cannot afford 3 square meals in a day. A lot of them are struggling, especially in the present state to find ourselves, you know, globally. So there's a need for some of those tithes, some of those offerings, some of those love offerings, some of whatever they call it that they put on your laps, for you to return them to these people, to the empowerment of these people. This is what the scriptures preach. If you read that part where they keep reading for us, that insisting that we pay 10% of our earnings. If you read that portion, it says there that the 10% is meant for not just the church leaders, but for the widows and the orphans, okay, and the disadvantaged in society. But they don't read this scripture in full to us, and that is why they keep taking advantage of people. So kudos to the Bishop of Awka Diocese. You've set a good pace, and I hope other people in your shoes would borrow a leaf from you.
We encourage him to do
Oster,
that.
you have taken my platform now to preach, okay? So they didn't read the scripture in full. I got that one. Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on now. Let's venture into the papers. The first paper is the Daily Sun newspaper. And then the banner headline there says, Major crisis looms in Atiku campaign. Major crisis looms in Atiku campaign with riders there. Akwa Ibom Governor Moore's resignation as PCC chairman, and then alleges lack of funds. A State Information Commissioner says government committed to PDP's, governor committed to PDP's success, okay? And then beside the land templates here, troops wreak havoc in Abia community, Ohafia, over alleged missing soldier. Killed 10, razed 50 houses as natives flee homes. Again, we asked, Okay, and down here we'll have, of course, if you look at the center there, you see the picture of some people that look like they come from the Zulu or whatever. But I think that the G5 governors, okay, with their host, Autumn, at the middle, wearing a clean suit, while these ones are dressed in the native attire of either a Igala or Tiv or whatever. Okay, Tinubu, I'll take Wike and the rest. Okay, but down here, I will not condone acts of recklessness. CJN wants 2023 election tribunal members with a rider there, 600 election cases pending in courts and INEC claims. Which of election cases? The one that is almost gone. So if you have a case in court and 8 years is gone, what will happen? If that case goes against you, will you come back and say you weren't a president or whatever? Okay, National Star. Let's go to the press before we start talking. National Star is our next paper. This morning, the new National Star. Okay, ICPC probes 7.1 billion naira per debt constituency projects in 20 states. Padded again. Okay, let's look at the riders. Rivers, Delta, Katsina, Kano, Ogun, Anambra, top list. Okay, and 109 projects inserted by executive. This one is coming from the legislature. The same picture of Autumn and the remaining governors of the G5 still appeared here. And then judges frustrating our work. INEC chair cries out. Judges are frustrating our work. That's coming from the INEC chairman. Okay. Let's move over to another paper, Punch newspaper. 2023 elections, INEC laments tough times. Why? Let's see. Flood overruns 20 INEC buildings. A chairman seeks new offices. And then agency grapples with 600 cases in court, wants new equipment. Wow. And here we have suspense as ASU ESCO meeting runs into midnight. The suspense as ASU ESCO meeting runs into midnight. Low enrollments, migration, flooding, hot Ogun village schools. Okay, and here I have this one. Okay, that's all we have coming from Punch newspaper. Let's get back to the Daily Sun and start talking. Let's start with this first story. Oster, I'm coming to you. The story beside the non-template troops wreaking havoc in Abia State. And then they have killed 10 people already. They have razed 50 houses while they're looking for people that killed just one soldier.
Yeah, it's quite sad that we're allowing things like this happen in the Southeast, you know, because of the oversight of a couple of persons that were given the responsibility to take care of our security. The thing is, we already know that the military do not play with their members. And kidnapping a member, a soldier, an active soldier, is actually going to be tantamount to shooting oneself on the foot. And that's what these people have done, the persons who allegedly did this around Abia State. So
but there's a possibility that these ones that are dead were not the people responsible for the deaths of
Of course. But they are what these people are just casualties, all right? These people are casualties to what has happened. There's every tendency that most of the people who died do not even know what happened. So, but this is what usually happens when we allow things like this happen, all right? When the military was sent down here to ensure that peace and order is restored to the Southeast, since the insurgency started trickling down here. So the best thing we can do as civilians is to ensure that we do not step on their lines as they are carrying out their duties. I'm not saying that everything they are doing it perfectly, but you try as much as possible not to cross them, because you know how they are trained, all right? So, and it will not be wise as a civilian for you to now start locking horns with them. So it's quite sad what's happening in Ohafia, and I pray that the police whose job is to ensure that there's no civil unrest, that the police actually does their duty by ensuring that whatever happened to these soldiers is discovered as soon as possible, so that the soldiers would not continue wreaking havoc in that area. At the same time, I want to use this medium to also call out to the soldiers to try to restrain from destroying more things. Raising down 50 buildings is no child's play. I mean, that's going too far. That's really going too far. People really need to be more rational in the way you express your disgruntlement sometimes. You go too far with this.
Okay, let's start talked about military, the way they were trained. Are they just trained to be violent? Otherwise, what about intelligence gathering? One soldier was killed. Why wouldn't you investigate? Why wouldn't you go around? Why wouldn't you nose around to find out who and who did this and know what exactly to do than trampling on everybody in the village?
That is what it ought to be. By their training, yes. That is what they needed to do. Go and find out what happened to their missing soldier. If he was killed, and if the body is there, they know how he was killed and all that. And then begin to look for the culprits. I do not support this type of barbaric action going because you are armed and then you go into the village and start destroying things. The very senior officers should look into it and then begin to advise the rank and files regarding this type of action.
All right.
I know senior officers will not be involved in this kind of thing.
All right, thank you. Let's talk a little politics here. Major crisis looms in Atiku campaign. What exactly is happening to PDP? Already they've lost 5 governors that they call themselves G5 or 5Gs. Okay, and then another one is about to join them by resigning his position as the chairman of the, the PCC. So what exactly is going on in PDP?
But what do you expect?
Before you take that question, please. Yeah, hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, go ahead, sir.
What do you expect if you don't share well? Yes. Politics is about interest and all that. For me, I stand with, I don't belong to any political party, but I share their opinions and their thoughts. If Ayu said that he was going to resign if a northerner comes in as presidential candidate, why will he swallow his, why will he not just resign? I used to see the man as a gentleman. I don't know why he's taking this.
You see, yes,
it is not proper for a presidential candidate to come from that side, from one side, and then the national chairman from that side, everything from that. It's not proper. And so that is why I said for this G, they have a genuine case. They have a genuine case. Very genuine case.
But then, if you have to apportion this blame, Oster, it has to go round. I know what happened before the primaries, how this, what do you call it, the Southeast, the Middle Belt and the South. I know the agreement they had, the governors, that the presidential candidates of PDP must come from the South. So I heard Autumn talking last night when they told him that you were the chairman. What did you do? Why did you allow Northerners to come out? He said that everybody has bought tickets, and then he said since they have bought tickets, when they were buying tickets, he didn't know who you were sending the tickets to. When you have agreed that that the presidential candidate must come from the South. So why must you allow that to happen in the first place, only to start fighting at last? Is it because Wike did not get the tickets eventually?
My thing is, I do not really believe that the PDP has the interest of the southern part of Nigeria at heart. The PDP has continued to betray the South from the word go, all right? So, and I keep insisting that the PDP does not deserve even one vote from the South in this coming presidential election. That's just a fact, because what they are doing to us is to beat us and to tell us not to cry at the same time. And I want to just applaud I want to applaud the courage of Wike, who is leading this team of agitators. You understand? So because what they are doing is to show that, you know, the PDP is not entirely sheepish, all right, whereby one person will just want to, you know, determine how things go, and they will say one thing today and then say another thing the next day. I know some other things must have played out in the background which they are not telling us, all right, but just the most casual glance at what's happening in PDP will show that the PDP have not kept their word. And that's one thing that you cannot afford to do, not keeping your word as a politician. If you say something as a politician, you need to keep to it. That's the way you continue enjoying the confidence, the goodwill and the confidence of the electorate.
Okay, let's get to the National Star and look at this major story. The ICPC probes 7.1 billion naira padded constitution projects in 20 states. It's a long time we had this padding, and I don't know that it's still existing. Okay, so what do you expect them to do now? Do they start picking the people that were responsible, or do they start, because that's the problem. You allow things to happen, and after that, you start looking for solution. Why did you even allow it to happen in the first place? Chooks.
That is the corruption, which we have variously described as having been so endemic. Government knows about it. It's obvious, government knows about it. I don't even blame those of them that are padding it, if they are padding it for their constituencies. All right? If I bring a budget to the table and you pad it, I will know when you padded it, and I will hold you responsible for distorting my whatever. You know? ICPC, yes, they are investigating it. I hope they will be able to do a good job out of it. That is, do the investigation, find out who and who padded what, and padding is not a legal thing. It's not. So if it is that, see how to discipline them.
All right.
You know.
All right, we'll
they
move
have
on.
the powers to do that.
Okay, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, may I also add that we need to start, you know, giving some accolade to the APC government, okay? Because it is in this government that we see some of these institutions doing their job without fear or favor. You see how the ICPC has been able to investigate the budget of all the states in the nation, and we're able to identify this number, 20 states. All right, this number of states having padded their budgets. That goes to show the level of transparency that the APC is giving to the people, despite all odds. Okay, we need to start giving some kudos to them. And we need to also start understanding, just like my senior colleague said, understanding that the issue of corruption is not just limited to the presidency, all right? It is something that cuts across all parts of the country, all right? And we need to even start looking within if we want to really start saying no to corruption. How have you been handling things in your own area of influence? All right, that's the only way you can say you're really fighting corruption. The change.
Their budget.
Yeah.
Who are they padding it for? Is it not them that are going to bring out the money to?
No. When we're talking about padding of budget, what we're saying is that a bag of cement costs 4,000 naira, for instance, and you're writing on the budget that the bag of cement will cost 10,000 naira. That's padding. All right, that's
the money is still going to come out from your pocket.
No. The money, when the money comes out, all right. Understand the corruption there. Now, the corruption there now is that if you're giving money now that cement costs 10,000 naira, when meanwhile you get the cement at 4,000. That outstanding 6,000 naira now is wrong. All right, because it will now tell on every other part of the economy that still needs money. Remember that we're working with limited resources, all right, to attend to.
Where would that 6,000 naira go?
Where would the 6,000 into private pockets now? Because they're definitely going to buy. And then understand another thing. Sometimes this padding process is not an individual's situation, because there will be a lot of persons who are involved in it.
Oh, yes.
I've heard a lot of contractors saying that even before they are issued their check, they have to oil some palms. You understand? These are some of the things that are happening, and it's affecting.
Let's see who has joined us, please.
All right.
Yeah, hello. Hello. Okay. Go ahead.
So, and you can imagine that something like this has also been identified, even in Anambra State. So that goes to even in this Soludo's government, that we are trying to see how we can start getting things right. That individuals have even started padding the budget. And I hold the members of the House of Assembly sitting right now responsible. Because a lot of committees were set up to look at, to investigate, to probe all the different aspects of the budget before the budget was passed.
And why you are holding them responsible, one of the writers also said that 109 projects inserted by executive and legislators.
So what does that tell you?
We'll need to move on then. Okay. This story from the Punch newspaper. Let's look at it. INEC lamenting about tough times, about what happened during the flood menace that wiped away a whole lot of things. And then the major thing that they said was about the cases that are in the courts. I guess that's from the primary elections. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do? We go on, move on with the election, with the cases, or must we wait until the cases are sorted out? Of course, he accused the judiciary for delaying his work.
I do not even know why INEC decided to involve themselves with these primaries. That is the first question. You want to go there, you say you want to observe, and then you write a report. Because that is why they are being involved. INEC come and say who is the legitimate winner. or the winner, whatever. If you had, of course we know that it is the national chairman that submits the name of their candidates. It is a party affair. So why not allow them to do whatever they want to do whatever mago. If they go to court, you won't be a party to it because you did not monitor. Whoever brings the thing, if you say you want to go to court, that's your business. But here, they are part of it. They will go there and say they are monitoring, and then write a report of who won. And then people will now go to court and say, INEC, come and testify. You know, so most of these things they brought upon themselves. I would wish that they would just, because they have a lot on their head already.
All right, have a lot on their head.
Leave that area, and then they will.
So the political parties to sort out. To
sort out, yes.
Okay, Daily Independent. Let's move on, gentlemen. CJN wants 2023 election tribunal judges against recklessness. Okay, I think we have seen that story, though we have not talked about it. And then Bajabi Amila Shras Asu of Buhari's intervention over salary cuts. Okay, from this day newspaper, viewers rate Arise presidential town hall high, set agenda for candidates. Okay, let's look at the rider. Well, that's the trending news now. The rider CSA urge others to honor invitations to address the public, okay? And then Nigerians divided over performance of key presidential hopefuls. Where are they? I think it was only Obi and Kwankwaso, and then some other ones they were there. Okay, we're still going to talk about that, but let's look at the next paper, which is the Nation newspaper. Women, farmers, artisans, others unite for Tinubu. And this one is coming from the Nation newspaper with a writer there, Marafa Eibo, sure of victory for APC presidential candidates next year. Okay, and down here I have nobody can break our ranks. Wike Autumn Makinde insists. Oh, the next paper now will be Guardian newspaper. 2023 G5 PDP governors not relenting in fight with IU and Atiku. 2023 G5 PDP governors not relenting in fights with IU and then Atiku, and it does appear those other ones are not relenting too, insisting their ground. Let's finish the papers and then we'll start talking. Daily Trust is the last paper. Kwankwaso joins, it may not really be the last. Kwankwaso joins to be on dialogue as Tinubu Atiku unveil strategies. Kwankwaso joins Obi on dialogue as Tinubu Atiku unveil strategy. Let's look at the riders. All options open to Asiwaju. KMO is saying this. I will tackle agitations with governments of national unity. Former VP says this, and that's Atiku. And then don't negotiate with terrorists. SAIG saying this, and its campaign gimmicks. Retired military officer. A whole lot of things. Okay, let's see if there's another paper left before we go. Okay, Tribune. Should be the last paper. Flood. Niger Delta reps. Ijo elders tackle minister. Flood, Niger Delta rapes, Ijo Taco Minister is a major story coming from the Tribune newspaper. Okay, since we'll have a lot to talk about, let's move on. Let's talk about ASU salary cuts, please. Chooks. One of the stories we saw said that they are meeting, there's a lot of worries as their meeting lasted into midnight. So we don't know what they're coming up with today.
Well, let us keep our fingers crossed toward that. But you see, what I do not really understand about all this is, I'm aware, even in that this thing that if you go on strike, repeatedly that you will not be paid. No work, no pay, something is there. And I think they know about it. Yeah, they do. So why did they allow all this to come? And now they expect government to pay full, completely.
No, they resumed in October. They're supposed to pay the October salary. They resumed in October. Oh, yes. So that salary was cut half. That's why.
When did they resume in October?
They didn't resume on the 1st of October. They did not resume on the 1st of October.
The truth is, it is about. So that is okay, while I am praying that both resolve the issue and see how to go about it, because parents have suffered a lot.
Parents have suffered a lot, and that's why we are trying to broker peace. What do you think that will be outcome of this meeting? Yeah, hello. Is anybody here?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Turn down your TV volume, please. Turn it down.
Yeah, I'm far from my TV set.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Thomas. I'm calling from Benue State.
Welcome, Thomas.
Yes, I want to have a take on the Article IU and the G5 governors. Okay. You see, let me tell you, if Article is a promise keeper, he should have looked into the grievances of these G5 governors led by Governor Yesu Wike of Rivers State. You see, Article has made the greatest mistake of his in 2023 election. There is no how Article will win the presidential election come 2023 without the 5 governors. Yes, let me tell you, these 5 governors, they are controlling their states. And when they control their states, it means that they are controlling the electorate. If it were possible, I think would have danced to the tune of this G5. Without this G5, there is no magic, there is no miracle that will give Article victory in 2023 presidential election. That is my take.
Okay.
God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you think, based on this, do you think IU, Atiku must have weighed how important these two groups are, the IU and the G5, that what I'll get from the chairman is better than what the G5 will give me? Perhaps that's why he's insisting, staying with him.
Maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe not.
Maybe. Okay, back to our story, because we don't have much time.
Yeah.
So, I asked you a question. What do you expect that should be the outcome of this ASU meeting that lasted till this morning?
Well, I'm not really expecting anything surprising. I've always known that the leadership of ASU has been obstinate, through the process. They've not been realistic, all right? They've not been, patriotic. That's my personal opinion. They've not been patriotic, because if they've been patriotic, they will have understood that shutting down a system just because you're not getting enough remuneration, all right, shows that you're not being realistic to the realities on ground. If every other person that in every other system decides to shut down the system because they're not getting enough, then how are we going to move forward? So they've done a lot of damage to so many families, to our society, and whatever be the outcome, they should know that Nigerians are not happy with them.
So if they decide to shut down again?
Well, we don't have a sister group, all right? So if they're shutting down right now, they might not get the support of all the lecturers this time around.
Okay, let's look at the presidential debate. the town hall meeting or whatever they call it. They call it town hall, they call it debate. We don't even know which is which now. That happened recently with the Arise TV. And then we are much concerned, some analysts are much concerned, why should Obi and the other presidential candidate that appeared to debate with spokespersons of other candidates. Let me come to you, Chooks.
Well, again,
when it's supposed to be a presidential debate. So what are other spokespersons doing there?
Of course, it simply shows that they are not serious. They think they are bigger than the system itself. So they can always send... you need to be humble, to show humility. You know, seriously, you need to be humble. But here we are not seeing it. If you call a presidential, he will decide where to go and where not to go, even when he is campaigning. It is not proper. And for me, the organizer should not, in the first place, not even have entertained or other spokesperson. If your principal doesn't have time, fine. You can give the whole airtime to people who came to dialogue, you know. Yes, it is insulting for a presidential candidate to refuse to come and talk to the Dogachi, as it were.
Okay, somebody's here. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Ejike I'm calling from Aka.
Welcome there.
Okay. So I want to advise the ASU leadership. The truth is that ASU has never really solved most of their problems by going to strike. That's the truth. For the past years, ASU has gone on several strikes. At the end of the day, most of their demands have not been met. The children suffer the whole thing. The parents suffer everybody. So I want to beg ASU to please go back to class. I believe there are other means, other ways they can engage with government in dialogue without shutting down the school.
All right.
Most of these ministers and our leaders, political leaders, have their children abroad. Their children are not here. So I want to play with them. They should look for other means to dialogue with government without closing down the school. That's my
Thank you.
I'm begging them if they can consider that. I think it will be okay for everybody.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning, Ejike. Thank you. Yes, I want you to assess, to rate the presidential debate that's just happened.
Well, to start with, we know that we do not have just maybe 4 or 5 people who are vying for presidency of Nigeria. If we're being very sincere with ourselves, we have over 30 different candidates, you know, coming out from so many parties. All right.
It's about 18.
Yeah, okay, about 18. Okay, so, but, you know, we keep mentioning 4 persons as if it's just the 4 of them that are contesting. These other persons are contesting. Another thing is that we know that the different media houses have their different affinities with different political parties. That's just the fact. It's the same way even abroad. CNN has, you know, an affinity with the Democrats. We know that the Fox News has affinity with Republicans and so on and so forth. And we know that Rise TV has already shown affinity for a particular presidential candidate. So we do not expect every other presidential candidate from every other party to, you know, play to their tune. Okay, when they know that Rise TV has already shown affinity for a particular presidential candidate. So I believe that explains why some persons, you know, evaded that town hall meeting yesterday while Obi and the rest of them showed up. And then about the outcome of the meeting, I know some persons lost their temper in the course of the meeting. A lot of things, you know, transpired. It's just for every person who participated in that town hall meeting to go back and, you know, go back to the drawing board and check, you know, how best they are supposed to go about, you know, what they are doing already. Let us not make any conclusions for now. The campaigns just started. This will not be the only town hall meeting that is going to hold. Let's keep an open heart. If we are really sincere Nigerians, we should keep an open heart and listen to every candidate objectively, regardless of how popular or how unpopular the candidate is. Let's listen to them objectively. If we really want the best person amongst these people to take up the reins of power after Buhari, then we should listen to them objectively and ensure that our logical mind, not our emotions, not what somebody told us, guides our votes. come 2023.
All right, thank you very much. The last last story from our last paper this morning. CJN to judges, don't betray Nigerians' trust on 2023 election matters. CJN is telling the tribunals now, because that's where we'll have another problem. You will cast 20 votes and the judges will turn everything upside down, like what we had in one of the states from the southeast. How do you see that instructions from the tribunal?
Well, coming from a new CJN, I hope he walks the talk. Follow it up. As soon as you see one infraction from any of them, discipline, and then others will queue in. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's a new CJN, brand new. And then if he has said so, let him, even if it means setting up whatever to look into all the cases, and then any judge you find not doing the job well, you sanction the person. Then others will take you. We'll still have elections coming after February.
Okay. Our last caller this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello. Yeah, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning.
Welcome. What is your name?
My name is Ibu Soka. I'm calling from Nibo.
You're calling from where?
Nibo.
Nibo. Okay. Go ahead, Chibu Zokafu.
Yes, I want to talk on the issues of military burning houses and killing people in Nibo.
Okay, please be fast about that. We are running out of time.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay, I want to talk about the man in blue, the man in blue. He said that he was trying to say that the AGP government is trying to help people, but actually the intervention of money.
Which one are you talking about? You're confusing us now.
I think it's that the term AGP government has this through.
Chibuzo, you are taking our time. You are taking our time. We don't have time. Let's sign off, please. Osta.
Yeah. Okay.
The CJN Wahala.
Okay, yeah.
Can we trust him so that we'll be able to trust the tribunals?
Well, yeah, that's the best thing we can do. You have to trust the ground you're standing on, all right? If not, you would not, find your balance. So let's just keep trusting the people that have been placed above us, and let's keep sending them goodwill. That's just what I keep encouraging every person. Whoever has been placed in charge of a particular thing, let's send the person good. Let's send the person positive vibrations, and then let the person prove him or herself, right or wrong at the end of the day.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Chuks Mweke, Public Affairs Analyst, thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, and thank you, Osta Eze. It's been a very vibrant one this morning. I thank you guys.
It's always my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. That has been a newspaper review this morning. You stand by because we have other programs coming your way. That's if you decide to stay. My name is Sijoma. Thank you.